And now we're seeing, right,
Saying about
Amazon and eBay are coming to this space too. What are you guys' thoughts on that? That's pretty crazy.
Well,
Yeah, well,
did Amazon ever release that marketplace? Because I never heard anything about it after.
no, I think they're just sort of like testing the waters still, I think.
Yeah, and I'm wondering how much the current sentiment is because you hear about Disney was going to come out with a metaverse and then they squashed plans, and then
Yeah.
Meta was going to do it and they squashed plans. I'm wondering how much of the kind of the current times are deterring some of these businesses. Maybe they're thinking, well, it's not the right time. If we
Yeah.
come out with this, it's not really going to land correctly. So let's wait. Let's keep developing in the background. Let's not really focus on it because the masses aren't ready for it.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you guys are feeling too?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, like, also the economic climate's not exactly the best at the moment either. So maybe they're, yeah, it's like I said, just hiding in the back, just like, you know, perfecting their product, and then once everything is, when the stars align, then maybe they'll take the leap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people, the regular person just doesn't like the word NFT. They
No, they
just
don't.
don't. So I think that before that changes, nothing's gonna change. I think that the world has to just get into a better place because I think too many people heard of too many scams and people losing money with crypto in the past 2 years, all these frauds, these banks going down. I think that a lot of people are just don't have the money. One, I don't think people have the money right now to be throwing away in digital collectibles like we are, right? We're doing it because we're confident in the space and we have some knowledge behind what we're investing in, so we have faith in where this can potentially go, right?
Yeah.
But they don't, and even if they did, a lot of people don't have the extra money right now to just put in any on a collectible like that. I think that the world, I mean, you know, we've been hearing it for the past 2 years. The world is in a bad place
Yeah.
yeah.
financially, so
It ain't gonna stop.
No, no.
More pain.
When does it stop? You know.
Well, everything's
A
cyclical, right?
constant cycle, right?
Yeah, that's it.
and that's the thing. Is there always a cycle? There's always a cycle. Everything goes down and everything goes back up and everything goes back down at some point or another.
I don't know about you guys, but VeVe has helped me learn that because I wasn't investing in anything before. I'm not, you know, Hinano, you said you were in the stock market. I've never done anything with the stock market. It was a 401k. Crypto was my first experience with, hodling and investing long term. And then VeVe kind of exposed me because it was such a nice little ecosystem. I was able to experiment being a flipper and stuff, and I found out I'm not one. But at least I was able to try it for myself and see what it feels like. Get a gut punch when you buy something thinking it's gonna go up and then it goes down, and you're like, okay, I learned from that. So I was able to learn by experience, and I actually thank VeVe for giving me that opportunity. And I'm guessing those are the same principles that you can kind of translate to other markets and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But what I noticed on VeVe, now it's getting old enough to where we're seeing cycles. And so it's like, oh, it's not different than everything else. It's just there's the bulls and there's the bears, and we're finally starting to see those things play out, getting more information. But you give it enough time and that cycle will come back around. That's how I see it.
And sometimes we like to sit and just wait until the big bull run comes, but there's always mini cycles going on every week. Like the guy.
right.
Shout outs to my boy Crypto Pro. Yeah. So my boy Crypto Pro.
I love that guy. He's got the best channel ever.
Yo, he has the best channel ever, and I've actually went back to his videos from 2 years ago, and I was watching him buy Starfire from the store. I was watching him buy all this stuff from the store, and I'm like, wow. And he was just like, I'm just gonna stack on this. I'm just gonna stack on that, and he's already been through 2 VeVe cycles.
Yeah.
And I watch him. I really watch closely to what he does, and he's always making profits. He's always when they announced the gauntlet, he stacked up on so many Electras. He stacked up on so many Eye of Agamottos. When the secret rare was 80 gems, he was stacking up on a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, because he knew those were the
And he
targets.
just lets it all go. And there's many cycles, and I think that if you pay attention, you could be making money today if you play it right. Obviously there's a little bit of luck there as well, but even if you bought a bunch of Gwen, the first appearance of Gwen, the spider ghost,
Yep.
those comic books, I was buying them at 6-7 gems, which was crazy. You know,
4.
4 gems.
Ooh, nice.
Oh,
You know,
one
and
comment.
and you know, I sold some. I sold a few of them yesterday at 13, 12, and I'm just like, whoa, like,
Yeah.
you know,
The
if you
uncommon was
just
at 20 gems at one time, man.
yeah,
It's like
that's
crazy.
crazy.
So, but you know, to kind of touch on that, yeah, we are going through cycles, and you can kind of pay attention now to how the market works, specifically on people and their sentiment. Then you go off of like the heartbeat of Twitter to see what they're doing, the heartbeat of Discord. Then you go and watch YouTube, and then you know for sure, okay, oh, they're talking about this comic, they're talking about that comic. You know what I mean? And if you're also a comic head and you understand the lore, then you know you encompass that towards also the information being given by some of these content creators, and you can kind of make a decision like, okay, this might pump because the movie's coming out. These 5 content creators are talking about it, and they're saying, you know, they're buying this. Then you can make a decision. Okay, well, this is 4 gems. I'm going to go, you know, roll the dice and buy 30 of these, which is what I did. And sure enough, it was a good decision, right? So you base it off of that. It's completely different from the stock market. I mean, over there, it's like more of like you actually go and look at the information at hand. You know, you watch charts, you do TA. I don't know how you can really do TA on this stuff. Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
A lot of people underestimated the Edge of Spider-Verse.
I was one of them.
I mean, it did go under retail, but a lot of people
For
were
a little
waiting
bit.
for that just to sweep them all up. So, yeah.
I was surprised to get multiple, and then to see that you got 5 involved. I'm like, what?
I was like, I was really gonna go for as many as I could. If I could get the 10, I was gonna get the 10. But it stopped me at 5. So I lucked out, and people underestimated. They didn't want to go for more than 2. I get it. I was scared. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna get anything good, but I ended up getting an SR. So it's been a while. It's been a while. I was like, yes. I was like running around at work. I was like,
The question.
Imagine work like, oh my god, holy shit, I did it.
You've been really productive today. What's been up with you?
Yeah, I had some energy for sure.
The question that we all want to know is, did you sell it?
Exactly.
Nope.
Oh,
Nope, I still have it.
You see, that's something that I had to learn from VeVe also, is I can't hold it too long. Like obviously with the VeVe logo, this might be a little different because VeVe could always do something tomorrow and people are gonna get pumped on VeVe again, right? Like Spider Ghost Spider, Gwen Stacy. She's at 888 right now. You know, so
PSR.
Yeah,
last time I
I'm just talking
checked,
about
she
the
was
comment.
at 6.
The comment.
The comment.
Okay.
The comment. Yo, I haven't really paid attention to a secret rare, but just the comment, and it's for almost every single drop. And I had to learn that with Darth Vader and basically all the grails. They always have this thing to where they're the highest up until the next thing is announced, or people forget about it. Because when people are excited in the moment, they start stacking up. Oh, Gwen Stacy's pumping. I'm getting more. Then you end up with 20, 25 comics. Something gets announced, and now you're selling 10 of them. And like the floor's dump. So it's almost, you have to, now I almost would consider myself a flipper because I collect more gems now. And I'm just going for stuff. And if I get it, I'll sell it and wait until buy it back. And try to get a little bit of profits off of that. Have you guys been forced to respond like that, or do you guys just hold it and that's it?
No. So like I've done that similar with you. In fact, GSX1, I bought up 50 copies of that within that half an hour span, but I had the liquidity at the time. And then over time, I've been selling it off, and that's been kind of my gem pool was GSX1. So like I was buying GSX1 uncommon for like 13 to 9 gems, and then the common between 14 to 18 gems. And you see where the common is.
Nice.
45,
I have
right?
14 copies left because I've sold my other 16.
Wow.
And so I've been using that to buy other things. I've used that liquidity to buy more Gwen. So I've done that too, but like strategically, right? So
I don't do that with comics. With my comics, I let them be.
Yeah.
But it's usually with the collectibles. You know, I'm not too attached to the collectibles in that sense. I could easily sell a collectible and not worry about it.
I'm back and forth. I'm back and
Yeah.
forth.
I'm like that with my UR comics. Like, I find them very difficult to let go of as well.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
There's things that I specifically now buy for flipping, and things that I buy just because I like it. So
Right.
if I really want something, I'll get one. But if I really want it and I think it's gonna do very well, then I'll get 3. But yeah, I learned the hard way, man, because I'm stuck holding some stuff that I got a Marvel's 1 SR. It was the 5th ever comic that dropped on the app. I got an SR. I could have sold that thing for $1,000, and now it's like $80. And I've been holding it this whole time, feeling like an idiot, And I don't really like the comic. It was just my first SR, so it was kind of sentimental in that regard. But back in the day too, I was just all hodl. So then when we hit a bad cycle, it was like, oh, hodling's not very good right now. So to answer your question, I have been kind of forced to think more short term. And, I still collect as a long-term guy. I still have long-term pieces, but like with the Revenge of the Jedi, I really liked it and I thought it was going to pump. So I bought 3 of them, and then I ended up selling 1 of them, and I still have 2. I probably should have sold 2 of them, really, because now it's kind of out of the limelight. You just never know. But there have been some hot collectibles and hot comics that have come out recently. I know Luke did it. I mean, Hulk would have been an easy.
Luke, my God.
Every comic book is a hot comic right now.
What's that?
Almost every comic book that we have on VeVe is a good comic.
Yeah,
almost every one of them.
Isn't that crazy? Everyone thinks like, oh, this is junk because CGC said so. I'm like, you realize that is a key. You know what I mean? It's like, but they don't realize it. They don't realize it. We all have good comics in VeVe.
Yeah,
a lot of keys. Yeah.
They're gonna be bummed out when we have shitty comics in VeVe. You know what I mean?
They're gonna be mad. You know what I mean? They're gonna get mad.
Yeah.
Actually, just on the subject of comics, did anyone notice that a whole heap of them have been burnt lately?
No.
The ones that didn't sell out are getting burned.
Yeah, because like I've seen ones like like the X-Men Christmas special, for example. That's all gone. So Age of X-Men #1, that's all gone.
They must have did that recently.
They don't announce the comics; they just burn them.
No, they just burn them.
Collectibles, yeah.
Because all of a sudden you'll just see like these prices go from like here to here all of a sudden. You're just like, what the hell just happened? And that's why, because they burnt all the supply.
I got a question. Where's the rest of the supply that didn't get burned? Because the floors are pretty thin. I mean, where do they go?
People stacked.
It went to the dead people because they're not around.
Are you talking about people
that's crazy.
Were you making a joke, or are you talking about people who bought and then left the app?
It was a joke. It was a joke.
It
was a joke.
Either way.
Serious. I was like,
VeVe's dead, but yet the comics are gone still.
Yeah.
They're disappearing.
Drops are still selling out.
They're really scarce in my opinion. Like I was looking at like edition sizes between rarities. I'm like, we got a bunch of collectibles that have like high counts, and then we have like ultra rare and secret rares that are like super scarce in my opinion.
Yeah.
And only like 20 of them, 15 of them on the
some
market.
Have only
sometimes.
8.
Yeah, exactly. The 252, right? That's just insane. That's more scarce than any collectible on the app, in my opinion. The comics are slept on highly, especially on like important FAs, like what's his name, Madak. He's a FA like evil character, but people slept on him still, in my opinion.
They're sleeping on Mr. Sinister, MODOK. They're sleeping on all the bad guys.
Yeah.
But I don't think that a lot of people know who these people are. I don't think people like. I love Mr. Sinister. Ever since I was a kid, I love Mr. Sinister. So to me, Mr. Sinister comic, I don't have that many. I probably got like 30 of those comics, and in my mind, I was like, I wish I had more money because I would want 30 more. I mean, that's Mr. Sinister. He's like one of the coolest villains in the X-Men, or even the superheroes, Jubilee, Bishop, Cable. These are $2 comics. I'm like, what? These are key characters, but I don't think people they're distracted with the Miles Morales. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the people that's in the app now is distracted, and that goes back to my point. Like, we don't have the fandoms in here yet, but the fandoms that know who Mr. Sinister is and know who MODOK is, and knows who Squirrel Girl is.
Ooh,
they're
Squirrel
gonna
Girl.
want those. They're gonna want those copies when they know what the copy is. When they know it's actually a digital comic, they're gonna want that. I think.
As soon as the X-Men hit the MCU, that's it. It's gonna be game on.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah,
Marvelous Pax. He's been stacking those X-Men comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Vibes.
Oh yeah, him too.
But it's crazy because I find myself not having enough money to go for all the things I want, let alone the spec things that I may want. You know? I think that's what it is. We can take our pick of the litter right now. It's insane.
Yeah.
They're like flooding us with so many things we can go for, and it's like, stop taking my money.
Just give a choice.
I haven't really been going for stuff because I don't have any money, right? I haven't worked in months. So I'm just, every time there's a drop, I'm like, I'm having to sell something. Or if I do put something in, it's really like, I got to sell something and come up with the other half with fiat. Is like, I really don't have money like that right now. But once I start working,
game on.
He's gonna be buying everything.
I'm gonna be buying everything. Hopefully the bull run doesn't. See, I'm okay with this taking a long time. Like going back to the VeVeVerse, I'm cool with them holding back. Even though the VeVeVerse is one of the reasons I'm in VeVe. Is that in the gamifications of it? That's why I named my channel VeVe Arcade, because I wanted to gamify the app myself. Because that's where I saw the app going. It's like an arcade lounge. When you were a kid, you all got together at the arcades and you all just hung out and played games together. And I'm okay if it doesn't come now, just because I don't think, including Cryptoys, I don't think there's a competition right now yet. Yet. It's starting. We're starting to see a glimpse of it. But even, Cryptoys has a while to go to catch up to VeVe. VeVe has a marketplace that's established. I mean, we got too much going for it. So I don't even think it's a type of competition. It's more of a cooperation. And I hope that you could bring those Cryptoys into the VeVeVerse. That'll be awesome, right? But I think that VeVe is just ahead. And I get why Cavell Anderson is upset and sour. And not sour, but he's upset because I get it. We're ahead of it, but we just don't want to fall behind. And at any moment, somebody can release something and take VeVe's viewership away from VeVe. Like if Cryptoys released the Star Wars and then at the same time they released Mickey Mouse and their VeVeVerse was developed, everybody would have ran over there. And all the work that VeVe did to curate this community would easily be taken away by somebody who did it first. But as of right now, I don't think anybody's doing it like VeVe. And I don't know what we were talking about, but I'm okay for it to take a little longer. That's where I was. Yeah. I'm okay because it gives me more time to accumulate more items.
And the competitors out there, they know exactly what the VeVe community is, and they're gunning for all of us. I mean, Bat Cowls did it. They got us, right? And so now there's a faction of us that's now Bat Cowls. Recur at one time got part of us. Cryptoys got us for sure, right? I mean, like, there's a community out there, and they're all vying for, in my opinion, the VeVe community, just because we're the most vocal out there, and VeVe's the biggest.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, didn't someone tweet about that?
VeVe's the best.
VeVe should be the best. VeVe should be the best.
Okay.
It should be the best. I mean, they have the best IP right now.
True.
In the best community.
Yeah.
The biggest and the most active community. I just think it's the drops, right? They got so many good drops so consistently that every week is like, oh, another one.
And it's user friendly.
Like it's comic book.
Use your credit card, right? Boom. Buy a comic book.
It's easy. It's easy to use, and it's not overly complicated for someone who's like not familiar with crypto to sort of get on board with.
Yep.
Whereas it's just like, I see what I want, I can pay with it with my credit card. Boom, done.
And it's on Apple.
And it's on Apple.
People trust it.
Easy.
And it's on Google Play as well. It's on Android.
Yeah.
Which is again,
there's familiarity on it. So
yeah. You don't have to go through like MetaMask. You don't have to set up like a crypto wallet or anything like that, which is like scary to some people. It's just it's easy to use, and and people trust Android. People trust Apple. It's a product they trust, and that's what really sort of reels people in.
Yeah, it does.
I think that's where the space is going, right? Because even Cryptoys, you didn't need to know anything about crypto. You just pay for it with your credit card.
True.
And it was a very seamless experience for me.
Exactly.
They're calling them digital toys. They're not using the word NFT, but these are on chain. I mean, these are even more NFT than the VeVe NFTs from what some people are saying, right?
Not yet.
So,
Not yet. They can't. They're not.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I said no, not yet because they're not interoperable yet.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah.
They say they are, but they can't. You can't buy them on OpenSea yet. You can't even trade them yet. So
yeah. So, but I guess that's the point. Is like they can bring in people that have never heard of an NFT, never heard of blockchain. It doesn't matter to most people, you know. And I think that's where this whole space is going, and I think that's where it needs to go to bring in fandoms. Because right now we've just attracted a bunch of crypto guys, and I was one of them, you know.
Yeah, same.
And those guys are so quick to go to the next project that, you know, whenever this one makes them mad, they just go to the next one. They're not loyal. They're not loyal to these fandoms, but the people who came in for the fandoms stay for the fandoms. And so there's a lot more patience. There's a lot more margin for error. And the other thing that I was thinking is, what percentage of VeVe users only use VeVe versus what percentage of Cryptoys and Palm and all these other platforms, what percentage of them are exclusive to that platform? I would say VeVe has the biggest exclusive community.
Yeah,
you know,
I think so.
who don't even dabble in other things. Whereas Hero is probably 100% people from Palm, you know, like a
mix of all.
Palm, VeVe, whatever. Like, so when we talk about brand loyalty, Top Shot, when we talk about brand loyalty, VeVe is it stands far above. What other platform is dropping their logo and selling it out?
Right.
You know,
Say none.
How would you guys feel if Cryptoys was interoperable with OpenSea and you're able to go buy a Darth Vader on OpenSea? How would you guys feel about that?
I don't care.
I'm
sorry.
I like it.
I personally, I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm such a VeVe fanboy that it's already there. We already had it. They're just copying now. The Cryptoys are cool. I'm not gonna lie.
No, but it's not about Cryptoys. I'm just saying, if Cryptoys is on OpenSea, that means Disney allowed it to happen. So how come they're not allowing VeVe to happen?
Okay, yeah.
That's what I was trying to get at.
Sorry, you're right.
No.
No,
I'm just trying to... Go ahead.
I reckon it would be good because it would give people options, and people like options.
But would you be? Because I know that. I mean, I'm just throwing this out there, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes we hear that the licensors are Disney's not allowing VeVe to be interoperable. That's one of the reasons we're not. So if Cryptoys is interoperable before VeVe, then that excuse doesn't work over here anymore. So then how will we feel about it?
I think there'll be a lot of mad people.
Yeah, there'll be
a lot of the crypto people will be mad.
Yeah, because they'll be like, "Well, they can do it. Why can't we do it?"
Right.
It's like, it'll be like the whole double standards argument.
Right.
Yeah, you make a really good point.
Yeah, 100%.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'd be kind of upset and I'd be suspicious, wondering, hey David, are you lying to us? You know, what's going on here? Or, you know, did Disney just play favorites? I mean, that would kind of spark some suspicion,
some questions. Yeah,
it would bring up some questions. Some debate.
I don't think they're going to be able to do that. And I know that Cryptoys said that they have a third-party marketplace, and everybody's thinking it's OpenSea, but I think it's going to be a closed ecosystem. I think that we're crazy thinking that we're going to be able to take these items out and just play with them everywhere. Like, nah. They're going to be interoperable within an ecosystem that they decide, right? Like,
yeah.
And, but yeah, I'm just curious to see where they go with this third marketplace that they're talking about. It might be, what if it's VeVe? What if you're able to sell your Cryptoys on VeVe? What if they're working together without? But I don't think so because they maybe, who knows? I don't know, right? But just
I personally don't. I don't even want to take VeVe stuff off VeVe.
No, I don't think it's
so
necessary.
That's where I could put it in AR. That's where I could sell it instantly. That's where I could put it in the metaverse.
Like what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when you pull it off of VeVe? Like you can't play with it. You can't sell it instantly. You know, you floor it and like for $1, yeah, of course. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see the
just
point.
storing it. That's it. Just
Technically speaking, Elmon X does have AR and is interoperable, so you don't really need VeVe the app. I think that's what I'm saying. VeVe needs to gamify this, because then there's no reason in taking out your Grand Theft Auto car into another platform where you can drive it around in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
maybe right,
right, exactly.
Yeah.
So we just need a VeVeVerse. We just need
Yeah.
just give us a VeVeVerse.
This conversation.
I think on that subject as well, that a lot of people probably wouldn't feel confident taking their NFTs off VeVe as well. I mean, it's good to have that option, but the question is, if you add had that option, how many people would actually use it? I know I probably wouldn't use it, because
I probably wouldn't use it either,
because people would be too afraid of, like, hitting the wrong button and then sending it off into internet land and be gone forever.
Losing it or getting it stolen.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the benefits that VeVe has going for it for the moment, is that everyone whinges about the closed wall ecosystem, but it does have its benefits. Is that there's that level of safety, that that some people are comfortable with.
And it's if the people, nothing is decentralized. The internet company has more access to my NFTs than I do, right? Like, if my internet company wanted to shut my internet down right now, it's over. I can't access anything.
Yeah.
So nothing is decentralized unless you like hanging out in the dark web. If you're a person that buys all your stuff in the dark web and you're willing to risk your identity and possibly get scammed, because that's what happens in the dark web. You don't know who's who. It's the Wild West. But I think that most people don't go and hang out in the dark web. Most people go to a .com, to a Facebook and an Instagram, because it's safe. Yeah. You're not going to get hacked. And I think that, taking our NFTs out and bringing them in, you make them vulnerable to a virus possibly. What if somebody takes something out and brings it in with a Trojan horse or something?
Yeah, that's right.
Anything could happen. I'm not for interoperability, but I'm always making the argument to, like, yo, what if this happens? What if this happens? Because you never know. It could happen, right? If Cryptoys ends up on OpenSea, people are going to be flipping out.
Yeah.
Be flipping out.
For sure.
I think short term, specifically the crypto guys are going to freak out. But, like, it goes back to what I said about the fandoms. Long term, fandoms won't care about interoperability because they wouldn't even know what it is. It's not even in their realm, right? And it goes back to what Evolve's saying, like, he doesn't care. So I think in the short term, people will be pissed off. I don't think I'd be happy either. I'd feel like Dino, where I'm a little bit suspicious. Like, okay, VeVe, so what's the real deal here? You're saying we're not interoperable because the licensor, right? But look, Disney is doing it already with Cryptoys. So
maybe it is going to be interoperable though. Because VeVe messed up saying that from the get-go. That's what happens. Like, if they promised it, like, I personally don't need it, but I could definitely understand why people are mad. If you told them that they were going to have that, and then at the end you don't have that, that's one of the reasons people like, I guess, taking their stuff out of a platform. I mean, what if VeVe goes out of business?
Well, they said they would, like, give us all those.
It falls on the licensor, I would think, because then it's the licensor's product. It's their reputation on the line. I wouldn't think Disney would just let Walt Golden Moment just disappear in the ether. But this is just assumption. They could just turn the lights off and just be like, okay, screw you, bye.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want.
I mean, there's no utility for them now, so they can easily just ignore it.
Yeah. Nothing's federally insured in here, right? So.
No, it's true.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Regulations,
yeah. So, but I think it will be interoperable, and I think that if I was David Yu, I wouldn't let you guys do anything with these things until the VeVeVerse was developed. So when you guys put your Walt Disney statue in a metaverse type of situation, it's with us first. Yeah. We don't want you taking this out and playing with it on Spatial, because then they're going to get credit for it if they get the coverage. Right. So until we develop our VeVeVerse, we're going to keep it enclosed.
That's right. All eyes on us.
All eyes on us. So when we release it, we're releasing it with the biggest IP, and then it's going to be released as the first official. First, and I think that that's where I would be.
Yeah,
and then
makes
once
sense.
We're done with this, then you guys can start crying about interoperability, and we'll consider it. But until then, I think we should keep it closed in, just to give, because even if I wanted interoperability, it makes no sense to take it on Spatial, because then they're going to get covered for having a Walt Disney Mickey Mouse officially licensed IP in their platform, and that's going to give them the eyes. So I think that it's smart we're not letting nobody use them.
Yeah,
and maybe
keep
have
it
like
in-house.
stipulations. Have stipulations about removing it. Once you remove it, you lose all access to the utility that came with that NFT. You don't have any AR functions, obviously, but maybe there's even more to that. Maybe by owning certain NFTs, speculation gets you certain deals or something else to that IP. But as soon as you take it off of VeVe, you lose it all if you want to be interoperable.
And you can't bring
all
it
you
back
have
in.
it, and you can't bring it back in. And all you have is a picture.
Yeah.
And if you're a mint hunter, how are you
You're
gonna
left
find a
with a 10
mint?
pig.
How are you gonna find a mint number if your NFT is scattered throughout 100 different marketplaces? Like,
you got no hope.
Items are gonna get lost, and the licensor wants to have a little bit more control of where these things are at and how to. You can't just it makes no sense. But I guess you gotta make people happy, right?
Yeah, that's true. Like, they want everything like, instead of being all out here, they want all like that, and then that way it's all like, yeah, we've got it, and there's none of this like searching all over the place for it.
Right.
Makes perfect sense to me, and I don't honestly. What you're saying is really smart, and I don't know why more people don't understand that. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. I mean, maybe we want David you to just come right out and say it.
Maybe he can't, though. He can't.
Of course he can't. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know what people really want, but for me, I don't want to take it anywhere anyways. I think a cool thing, if you want to store it off the platform, then VeVe pumps out those cards again, those secure wallets, and it would be integrated because it's made by the same company. And then, okay, now you're storing it off. But that's the main argument, was the security. I want to be able to stash this away in my control. But in terms of usability, why would you take it off the VeVe platform? So like, it just makes perfect sense that VeVe would try to keep everything in-house because they want to be where the world collects. They want to be the metaverse that everybody comes to. It doesn't incentivize them to give some crypto guys the freedom. And most people
ruin the NFT.
What they need to do is just like keep focusing on their own product, make that app the best app it could possibly be, and same thing, make the metaverse the best metaverse it could possibly be, and then people won't want to take it off the app. They want to keep it there.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And also, maybe if your NFT gets updated in a few years, maybe they want to add new technology to it, like AI or something like that.
Yeah.
They need to have some type of control over it in order for them to do so.
Exactly.
What are they going to do? Email you and try to have you send it back to them so they can update the technology? Like, they're not going to do that. And so I think it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. And I think that the space as a whole is developing to what it should be. And I think we're going to have two different types of NFTs: the commercialized NFTs that everybody trusts, and the Wild West. And I think that right now everybody's trying to see it as one, but it's going to end up being two different spaces, I guess, in a sense. Yeah. Which is going to make a lot of people upset, like Paul Barron, because, And shout outs to my boy Kyle Wilson, man. I know everybody is crushing on him on the internet, but I still respect Kyle Wilson. He did a lot for the space, man. And shout outs to Kyle.
Yeah. I actually met him in DCon. Super nice guy.
Yeah, he is cool.
I mean, he's doing his job. He's doing his
job. And if your employer says that about VeVe, you can't go and what are you gonna tell Kyle?
No, I'm not gonna say that. I get it. Dee and I run a business. We get it. So yeah,
I'm sure he loves VeVe.
Yeah, of course.
No, I'm saying I know Kyle does, but I'm sure Paul Barron does love VeVe in the back of his head.
You know what?
In the back of his head.
I'm sure he does, but
subconsciously,
he's not one of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought he was. I thought he was one of us, but he's not.
It's okay, isn't the story? I mean, I don't know much about the whole situation myself. I only know what I've heard, but isn't the story is that he did get in with VeVe and bought a whole heap of collectibles and stuff, but he must have done it somewhere towards the highs. So now everything's down, and maybe he's got like a more like saltier approach on it.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like that about a lot of OGs, actually. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of OGs that are salty, unpopular opinion. And I think that there's a curse with being here too early. I think I came in at the perfect time, even though I saw some highs and I bought a lot of stuff in the highs,
Same.
I think that if you were here early and you sold off during the bull run, then you're probably a happy OG. But if you held and you're losing and you're negative being here so long, you're going to feel a certain type of way about it, especially when there's people making money that came in after you and then not feeling like the company's coming through with these deadlines, and then the message gets confused on what they're hearing and heard back in the day. So there's a lot of OGs that feel a certain type of way, and I don't blame them. And it sucks because we look up to a lot of them, and when we hear them say negative stuff about VeVe, I try to ignore it and I just skip it, but it sits in the back of my head like, yo, what? I'm gonna remember this. Don't say that.
I like you.
Don't let your experience like influence mine.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta be honest. The thing I criticize people for is the way they express their feelings. Because for me, I've been in here since March of 2021, and I'm not gonna lie, seeing stuff drop as much as it has, it does make me feel like, oh man. And a lot of the decisions I made were based on things that were said that didn't come to pass in the time that they said. But how have I expressed it? Have you guys heard me badmouth VeVe in any way? It's like, I'll be honest if there's something that I don't like, but there's a fine line between being upset and being able to process that in a healthy way and try to contribute in any way you can. Just control what you can control. Yeah. And then there's some people that just go out there and they just want to throw a tantrum. I mean, that's just kind of how I see it. Just throw a temper tantrum. And what I'm saying is, I understand why they're upset because I'm upset too. But how do you process that?
How does it make it any better to just FUD and be negative about it and just completely lose your whole positive energy? You're wasting your own energy doing who knows what when you're upset about how much money you lost. Yeah. You lost it. It's already gone. What are you gonna do now?
If they cashed out, then they got nothing to lose. They're gonna do whatever it takes for you to lose too if you're still here.
Exactly. But
I think to me, I think a lot of these people are just over leveraged, and for me, I've taken a lot of losses throughout the years. And Dee knows from 2016 till now, I've taken some losses. So I understand what it feels like to be in the red. And so for me personally, the money that I put in here, I mean, it's risk assessment, guys. You literally, you look at what you're going to put in here and you don't put more than you're going to lose, and just know in the back of your head, you may lose it. Right. But I think it takes a strong mindset to truck through that, because I mean, you look at your vault value and you're like negative 50K. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that are way more negative than that. Right. You know, and trust me, and I know what it feels like to lose, say, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, I know how that feels. But we are in a bear market. And so cycles always come back around. So, sometimes it's just tough shit. You made the wrong decision and you just got to live with it. But you don't have to badmouth people while doing that. Some of that is going on.
I lost way more than I'm in the red.
Is anybody in the green here?
And actually, Dino, you came in March of last year.
2021.
2021.
2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years ago. Okay.
I came in May.
I was gonna say March of last year. You came in as it was going down.
Oh yeah, no, that was so. I mean, I had 5 Harley Quinns or 7 Harley Quinns from the store, 5 Jokers from the store. I came right after Todd sold out. And I'm looking at Harley Quinn now, who's I think she's under retail now. I bought her at retail, watched her go up to multi-hundreds of dollars, and now she's back under retail. And I'm thinking, I'm in the twilight zone. This is weird.
Yeah.
Right. And then things that I did buy, I bought some lenticular cards. Thankfully, no offense, Oz, but thankfully I didn't buy a Goofy. I got the Goofy on the drop, but I bought all the other ones. I completed the set in the heat of the bull market. I'm down huge on those.
They were
they got absolutely slaughtered.
They got slaughtered. They got slaughtered. I think that's the worst. That's the worst slaughter in the bear market is the lenticular cards. I think that is the worst
crush
because it was the first Disney that crashed.
Yeah.
It was the first Disney that just started crashing, and it was really active when it came out because it was in the middle of the bear run, right? It was right when the bear market started crashing. Lenticular cards came out, and everybody had so much hope. And when they started just crashing down as fast as they went up, and it was the first thing that was not a statue. It was the first You know, and yeah, that took a big
Well,
L. Big L.
even Steamboat Willie, I mean, so for everybody who missed out on partners,
Here we go.
Steamboat Willie was the guy, you know?
Yeah.
And so I sold an Elsa and a C3PO, and I bought a UR Steamboat.
Steamboat Willie?
At 7K. Now, I didn't just put in 7K because it was from profits, but that thing went down to, what is it, 300?
300,
yeah, it was about 300-400 something like that now.
And it touched 10K.
Yeah,
so imagine buying something at 10K, thinking you're getting the next partner statue, and now it's $300.
Well, that's
Wait,
it.
who's that guy that bought he leveraged his homes and he bought a bunch of SR Spider-Mans? He was a YouTuber. Cody Thrive. I think that's the guy's name.
What was it, Hinano?
Cody Thrive. Wasn't he the guy that bought a bunch of SR Spider-Mans and he leveraged his house? I think it was him or somebody of that sort.
Well, that's exactly the thing you should not do.
Yeah, exactly.
Not your house.
Irresponsible though. That's so bad.
Yeah. There's a couple of YouTubers there that are giving some shitty advice out here. They're like, buy this, buy that, and I'm like, no, you should not buy that.
I mean, unless you're in a position to do that, where you're not going to put yourself out on the street or do something extreme, then just don't do it. I mean, that's the way I look at it. I may be down significantly on some of the stuff that I've bought, but at least I'm not someone who bought Walt at 50K and now what is it down to 2?
I know. Ooh, partner statue or Luke Secret Rare.
Partner.
Yeah, that's a tough one now, isn't it?
Partner.
Partners.
I'm looking at partners. Yeah, I'm looking at FF1. I'm watching them.
Partners.
So, yeah.
I might have to get out of here. I'm gonna have to be maybe 10-15 minutes left in my time slot.
No worries.
That's cool, man. Yeah, we're going pretty long here.
So
it's been 2 hours.
Yeah, well, it's midnight where I am, so I ain't got much more time to theater. It's coming up on a school night too.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Anything else you guys want to close up with?
Well, I kind of want to just talk about the comics real quick and maybe pose this question to you, Arcade. I really feel like we're going to stop printing books one day, and it's going to come soon. Not soon as in the next 2 or 3 years, but sooner or later, it will all go digital. And the reason why I'm saying that is if you go look at DC Palm NFT, they're literally dropping new age books. They're dropping the entire Dawn of DC line. And I'm a DC fan. And so if you've ever read Action Comics 1050, it's the reboot of the DC universe into Dawn of DC. And DC's dropping all the entire books on their platform. And, what I love about that is, for one, I don't have to rip open any of these new books that I have in the boards anymore because I can read them on DC. But I just kind of see this pattern okay, DC is releasing newer books. It's only a matter of time before Marvel releases newer books, like the newest one, like Spider-Man 7 with Spider-Boy, right? Wouldn't we want to have that on the app? And you're absolutely right. There are so much good comics, and people complain about the comics. Wait till they release newer books that look pretty,
trash,
but they're junk, So, what do you think about that?
I think that we're never going to get rid of physical comics. The industry is based out of physical comics. I know that there's a comic book store that I go to that I'm really close with the owner, and he doesn't sell anything online, and he sells thousands. He orders, from the preview. When you get the comic book shop orders their comic book boxes, and they usually have boxes that you go into and you pre-order all your comics.
Correct.
So I have a box and I pre-order comics every week. I get a shipment of comics, right? And that industry is so big that couldn't be taken over by. It's just that the physicals just have too much. There's just too much. They're not gonna let it go. They're not gonna let it go. I mean, maybe I couldn't see that happening within the next maybe 10, 20. And that's, it's not gonna happen now. If it does happen, it's gonna be 15, 20 years from now. It's gonna be to where nothing gets published physical no more. But I think that there's some things that are always gonna get physical counterparts. Textbooks and comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a different view. I really think in the next 5 to 10 years they will disappear. But I mean, like, I don't want them to. I mean, I'm like you. I'm the same guy. I have an LCS owner who he doesn't like NFTs. He doesn't have a website. We go through the previews and he orders from Diamond. I have a box waiting. I got to drive 45 minutes to go see him, and he's crabby, but he's like super cool at the same time, right? It's like, and he's so knowledgeable. He's met Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld, all these guys. I've got that same guy, right? And then on the other side of the island, there's a different guy who embraces digital and believes how I believe that one day his comic shop will be a digital shop.
Okay, yeah,
you know, and he's literally so like I think there's like the old guard and the new guard, because both of those guys I see don't like each other either on the island, right? So like, yeah, but like I get it, you know what I mean? Like there's the older guys, and I there's something about walking into a comic store, smelling the books, going through the previews magazine and actually ordering your order, filling out your order and stuff like that versus you know, digital. But
you're right. I mean, it would have to be modern books. And yeah, I mean, I'm curious. I mean, obviously they're gonna stop printing physicals. I mean, that's the world we're stepping into. Is we're getting rid of the physical. And I think that, and if, you know, I said it in one of my videos, it'll be cool if CGC has something to do with VeVe, right? Because if somebody sends in their Marvel Comics #1 to CGC and they get it graded, it comes attached with an NFT.
Yes.
And now the comic book owner sees the value of that, because the board, the comic book board that creates the price guide for every year. What's that called? The street guide.
I don't know.
Street guide. There's a board of comic book collectors, and these are people that have been doing this for 40 years, where they'll price every book every year according to what happens that year. So if there's like a movie that comes out, they'll put out the book every year and with updated prices. If we were to be able to have some type of collaboration with some type of entity like that the comic book collectors respect, we might be into something, you know. I don't know how that would work.
That'd be cool. I could see that, like, you know, once you get your book graded, they give you the NFT. It comes with a seal and its own mint number, and the seal is just specific to that actual slab or whatever like that you have, right? And then it's just your ownership. And over time, whatever the street book is, you know, they'll calibrate that to whatever your mint number is, and then your value changes, right, on the specific NFT. And it changes within, you know, the value will change in the marketplace. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
There's another possibility as well, is once CGC gets the comic book, now before they slab it, or maybe slabbed, they'll take a really good picture of it and have a 3D version of the actual comic and they mint. So now you can compare the comic book with the physical one and check it out and zoom in and see, like, it has the same crease. That's the comic. So you can't counterfeit the comic in a sense, but people don't counterfeit comics, right? I don't know.
And they have a physical and digital mint number that match.
Oh, that'd be legendary.
You know?
And the NFT would be the exact comic book.
Yes.
They would have to do that with only modern comics, right? They can't like go back to like say Amazing Fantasy 15. Those you can't.
No. Or like, you know,
not unless they grade something of that age. They actually get a book like that and they grade it. You know,
well, CGC has a booth at Comic-Con, and you could go get your comics graded and your signatures graded at the comic convention. So maybe they'll have something to where you bring your old comics and they'll verify them and mint them there. So
they take them out of the slabs. You can take them out of the slabs.
Re-slab it. So now you could pay a fee to mint your NFT.
Yeah. And the value on that just got bigger, right? Because now you just added that extra utility because it comes with the digital.
Could that be the another marketplace that could exist within the comics? We got the comics that we have now, but now you have a whole marketplace of actual comics and the actual NFTs attached to the actual comic. Would that change the prices on the digital comics now? Ooh,
it's possible.
It might bring the prices down. Because I'm gonna sell my comics, my digital VeVe comics, to go get the NFT minted comic.
And the physical.
There's a burning mechanism there already. You can burn comics you already have for physical.
Ooh. Burn a stack of what you got now in the VeVe app, and then you get the physical and the CGC slab on top of that.
They can do that with the rare and ultra rare.
Yeah, I was gonna say VeVe could re-release the rare and ultra rares in the physical world attached with NFTs, and that's what they should do with the modern comics, right?
And the uncommon.
Yeah,
the uncommon doesn't exist. That's like the only cover that really does not exist in the real world, other than like certain ones that are black and white.
Yeah, certain ones do have the black and white. Yeah,
which is why I collect the uncommon.
Some of the secret rares too, right? They just take a
no, not the secret rares. No,
it's just a panel. They take it off.
Yeah, this is like an interior
well,
panel.
what I'm saying is that actual comic doesn't exist when they take.
Oh no, it doesn't.
So that's another thing that they could do with the uncommons, the secret rares.
Yeah.
So
and the ultra rares as well.
With the rare and ultra rares, they actually hire an artist to specifically do the cover for VeVe.
That's right.
So I think that just makes it way more valuable.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And they definitely don't exist in real life.
They definitely don't. And a lot of people collect comics because of the covers. They could totally re-release them with these custom covers, and they could still go for a lot of money in the real world.
So you know what I like to see them do? I want to see them re-release the first lot they brought out, like, you know, was it Amazing Spider-Man #1, like the black and white ones?
Yeah.
Imagine if they re-released them, but with ultra rare exclusive UR covers.
Well, maybe that's why we haven't had the rare and ultra rare covers for those yet. Maybe for the second edition, VeVe will release those.
Yeah, maybe like a second edition variant cover or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And they'll bring up the prices of the old comics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot they could do, and I really hope if we're thinking like this, I know they're thinking like
this. I know for a fact David Yu is saying to himself, the accessories for these comics, we're gonna have to slab them up for people. We're gonna have bookshelves just like in the real world. David Yu, and maybe they haven't done. I mean, I think that there's a lot they got going on, but I mean, it takes time, right?
Yeah, well,
you can't do it all in a weekend.
Yeah, because what have we got at the moment? We've only got Cherry Charts. It's the only slabbing service we've got at the moment, like in the way of digital. So if VeVe actually like provided that as an extra service, that would be something I reckon everyone would get behind.
Maybe you could burn that one comic into a slabbed comic, but once it's slabbed, you can't bring it back to its original form.
Yeah, and you can't read it.
And you cannot read. Oh, it's over.
You can lock it right now. That's it.
That'll be crazy.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
Decisions.
Imagine
why you gotta have dupes of everything.
I got doubles of all comics.
That's just opened up a whole new burning mechanic right there, hasn't it?
Wow, that'll be good.
Yeah,
that was a good brainstorming session. I like that. We were riffing there.
That was good. I like that.
I might have to be out of here like in a few minutes.
I was gonna say that's a good place to wrap it all up. So, does anybody have any like last words before we do kind of a outro?
I got one. Happy birthday, Arcade! Congratulations on 1,000 subscribers. So much fun on the VeVe Arcade Show. If you guys are watching, subscribe. Every Sunday, him and the biggest bro, the Rugger, are just killing it. It's good fun. You get a lot of good NFTs. And also, happy birthday to the president of VeVe.
Hey.
We love you, brother.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Happy birthday, guys.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys for real. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the invite, for real.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Arcade.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, mate. And also,
you're always welcome, bro.
Great conversation. Made great points.
I'll do a quick shout out as well. Like, if you can, please tune in to VeVe Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, 8:30 to 8 to 10 Pacific Standard Time every week. We just talk VeVe comics, say fandom, pop culture, and just have a nice old fashioned chill out session and just talk about stuff.
Yeah, all the stuff that we're here for, right?
That's it.
A lot of fun, no FUD, or else you get rugged by the biggest bro.
That's it.
That's a promise. That's a promise. Check out Evolve's channel too, doing some great things. Love the Vault reactions and the interviews, and then check out the Real Uncommon podcast.
Yes, sir.
Man,
yes, sir.
I mean, you get a look into people's soul as far as people come and share their childhood, why they're doing what they're doing. Just a real unique take on these collectors, people that are in our community. So kudos to Dee and Hinano for asking amazing questions and setting up that space where people feel comfortable sharing who they are. And yeah, subscribe to this channel, VeVe TV, right? So feel free to join the and shout out to Arcade for that one. That was a fire name, man. Thank you for that. You always get credit for that.
And the logo. And the logo.
And the logo.
And the logo. Yes, my bad. That whole thing up
right
there.
here is responsible for our logo.
You could tell his style of art. That's just great stuff,
Light
man.
parade
Beautiful
style.
stuff. Yeah, and if you feel like joining the Discord, I would say DM Ozman. You're cool with that, right? People DMing you.
Yeah, hit me up.
Yeah, we have active conversations. How many are we up to in terms of members of the Discord?
Members, I think we're pushing somewhere around 30. No, I think we're up to more than that. It's definitely more than 30. Definitely more than 30.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we actually picked up a new member, I think, today, I think.
Very cool.
Yep.
Do you have something?
We did?
Yvonne?
No.
He's climbing.
We're
going up.
Yeah.
Celebrating?
Yeah. Get to the top.
On our way up.
We're going
up.
Yeah, I know. This family's getting more and more tight knit as we go along and keeping each other warm in the bear market. So in the crypto winter, we're going to get through this together, guys. So yeah, great conversation. Thank you for everybody. This was a long time. So thank you for carving this period of your schedule. And yeah, we'll catch you around the World Wide Web on the next time.
Peace.
All right, take care, everyone.
Bye.
Aloha.